now, your main event. Introducing the hosts of Wrestling with Freddie, Jeff Dye, and Freddie Prinze Jr.
Mr. Jeff Dye, back again.
What up, brother?
I don't know the rest of that rap, but welcome back. What city are you in right now? You look like you're in a hotel room somewhere wonderful. I'm guessing, based on your hat, that you are in the wonderful town of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I am in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I am going directly after this to the Brewers game. So
are you throwing the pitch? Are you throwing
Not
the
throwing
pitch?
the pitch.
Oh,
no,
bastards.
But, I've thrown the first pitch before there, and when it was called Miller Field. Yeah, so I got that checked off the list.
Wait, they changed the name of the field?
Yeah, I'm going to botch the name, but it's something like American Family Park or something like that.
It's still Miller Field, though.
Yeah, I know. They're trying to get away from alcohol or something, I think. I'm not sure.
In Milwaukee? What?
I know. They're the Brewers.
They're like, we're not into beer and cheese anymore. I love Milwaukee. Cool. Milwaukee's a great wrestling city. The fans there were always awesome when we brought shows to them when I worked at WWE. Great freaking crowds. They love wrestling. Great wrestlers have come out of there. One of my best friends from ever, I'll shout him out. His name's Brian. Brian Hurry, big, huge Milwaukee dude, like 6'5", 235, 240, like huge black belt, could kick everybody's ass. One of my best friends. He's like a big brother to me. He's from there. So I've been there a bunch. I love that city, man. I hope you have fun.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm excited. Big shout out to Pat Murphy for giving me tickets, which I'm excited about going and seeing him. He's the manager. He's like this old,
no way,
just an old school guy. He's like, tell security you're my brother, and they'll come get me.
And you're friendly. You're friendly with him like that. That's
no,
really
I'm going to
cool.
meet him. I'm friends with a mutual friend who played for the Brewers, but I'm excited.
That's awesome,
I've been
man.
a fan of Pat Murphy for a long time, so it's going to be cool to shake his hand and chop it up.
That's awesome. Well, we're also both fans of wrestling, you guys. We're not just going to talk baseball. Even though the Dodgers-Mets game the other night was wild. Shohei Ohtani is like friggin'... this must be what people felt when they got to watch Babe Ruth, like back in the old days. Like, what the hell? Like,
it feels like video game baseball.
There's a game called Super Mega Baseball, and he performs better than I perform in that game. And
100%.
That game is... You can really kind of overpower your opponents in that. And he's better in real life. So anyway,
he's amazing.
Monday Night Raw. Here's the rundown. Let me get the rundown, as The Rock once said to Sean William Scott in a movie called The Rundown.
Great movie.
Great. We're throwing great out there like that. Okay, cool.
I thought it was a great movie. It was also one of The Rock's first movies, and I was like, this is a good flick. I just
remember the trailer. He just went, give me the rundown. All right.
Sean William Scott's great, too.
He is. He always has been. So we had Logan Paul on Monday Night Raw, and he thought he would talk some smack to Gunther. Gunther wasn't really having it, and Jay Uso super kicked him in the face. Let me say this about Logan Paul, because I'm not on the Logan Paul bandwagon. I think his matches are really, really good. I think he's super athletic. I think he gets it as far as like how to wrestle. His mic work is what it is. It's not at the same level as his wrestling, and it's it's a lack of experience, and and with that experience, the longer he does it, comes a better understanding of how to own dialogue, how to make it feel like it's your own, how to be more comfortable in front of a crowd. Like he gets a little tight, but once they ring the bell, his matches are really, really good and really,
100%.
really fun. That said, I have no problem with the matches they're giving him, with the push that he has. I know some people are like, oh, he hasn't been in it long enough to be in all these high profile matches. His worldwide sort of fame has brought more eyes to professional wrestling. It's given guys like Jay Uso more fans. It's given guys like Seth Rollins more fans. It's given guys like AJ Styles more fans, or at least the opportunity to earn them. Everyone he wrestles, he has fans that have never seen the guy he's wrestling before. Mm-hmm. And it gives these guys an opportunity to show them what they can do. And it gives them an opportunity to go see anybody can do. Like, so there's both sides can win this argument. I'm not, like I said, I'm not the biggest Logan Paul guy, because I like mic work a lot, and it's got to be an 8, 9, or 10 in order for me to like really get behind you. And his just isn't there yet. But I like what they've done with him, and I like what he's done with every single opportunity he's gotten. I feel he's lost the right matches. I feel like he's won the right matches. And because of that, I feel like his ego's not a part of the equation, because he could say, look, man, I'm super freaking famous. I got 80 bazillion followers. I'm not losing these matches, or I'm not doing those matches. And I see him winning. I see him losing. I see him wrestling top guys. I see him wrestling other guys that maybe aren't a top guy, but have been a top guy before. So yeah, they're giving him a huge opportunity. And yeah, that could be another wrestler. But what has Logan Paul done wrong to not deserve any of that? Nothing, at least to my eye. I think he's done great every step of the way. What about you?
I agree 100%. I think as wrestling fans, we're trained to really, or not trained, but we all agree that it's going to be a tough sell when a celebrity's put in a match. We kind of like seeing the celebrities there because we're like, oh, we like this the same way they like this. So that makes us feel good. But whether it's Mr. T or Cyndi Lauper or Dennis Rodman or David Arquette or Snooki or Ken Jeong or Jon Stewart, whoever it is, we're not crazy about when wrestlers mix with the celebrities in the matches and in the storylines.
You mentioned one name that triggered me hard because I did not like it at all.
What?
And I don't even want to say the name because it triggered me. So once you said Snooki, I was like,
I know, that was a tough. She was in one of the main events of WrestleMania. It was insane. But anyways, so we kind of don't like that. We like when the celebrities are there, but we don't like when the celebrities are in a story or a match. Whereas Logan Paul's an exception, in my opinion. He's perfect as a heel. He's perfect. We hate him as this like YouTube guy who had more money than us when he was 19. We hate him because he just
exposed 90% of his haters, by the way. But yeah,
oh, for sure. But also like the Suicide Garden or the Suicide.
He's made a lot of fuck ups.
The little viral trolling that he's done, any mistake that he's made, whether he agrees or disagrees, makes him a perfect heel for wrestling, because we're like, oh, we don't like this guy. It's absolutely perfect. And then you mix that his body is great, his work ethic is great. He does spots that actual other wrestlers can't even do.
I would actually agree with that. Of course, some can, but you see him do stuff where you're like, wow, my guy didn't do that.
Jon Stewart's not doing a spot with Ricochet where they jump off and it's really. So I think Logan
Paul. That would have been
Paul
funny though if Jon Stewart tried to
amazing to be tried, yeah. So I think Logan is just a real exception to the rule, and I really like him, and I just really like him as a bad guy. Needs to work on the mic work, but that's okay. He's green when it comes to mic work, but he's so far ahead of the pack with all the other stuff that I really like it.
Is he the best celebrity wrestler that's ever done it?
I mean, do you count like the UFC people that cross over, like Bobby Lashley or Matt Riddle or Shayna Baszler? Or
I wouldn't put them into the celebrity turned wrestler move. I would have them just as wrestlers. Yeah, I never thought about that. I wonder, dude, because like,
if you don't count the athlete turned wrestler,
no, I don't count the Ken
just
Shamrocks
counting like celebrity turned wrestler. He's by far, I think there's no one even close.
I'm trying to think, man. I should have done a match, and I should have been able to put my shit up against his shit.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
I can't wrestle. He can.
But you could have learned.
Maybe
you learned baseball and did the baseball movie. Like
I destroyed my shoulder learning
train.
baseball.
You're a guy who'll figure it out, and you'd love it too. I think you'd really love it.
I know I would have loved it. It's funny because like the only shot I ever took was from Randy, and I felt that. So I was just like, yeah, maybe I couldn't do that.
It looked like you felt it. Yeah, that didn't look. Sometimes you see a thing, you go, "Ooh, that like that." I
screwed that up. That wasn't on him. It was me. I didn't get my feet down. But yeah, dude, I think he might be the best celebrity because better than Arquette. All his moves are super, super clean, especially if you like Hangman Adam Page. Mm-hmm. But yeah, dude, I'm trying to think like who else has done a match where like McAfee was awesome, did the right thing, but Logan's
McAfee's an athlete. He's an athlete who came over. He doesn't count.
He was a punter though, so I don't know. I've counted more as a celebrity. Yeah, I feel you. McAfee had my favorite celebrity match ever. But Logan, I think, is the best celebrity wrestler ever. Not including promos and stuff like that, just the matches. His matches are fun. I like him, dude. I hope everybody else is digging what he does too. I will say this, because you talked about some of the mistakes he's made and some of the choices that he's made. You know, YouTubers are young for the most part. And because they get famous, their mistakes are out there for everyone to see. Their choices, if you guys don't like the word mistake, sometimes it is just choices, bad choices, are out there for everyone to see. But y'all fucked up too when you were in your 20s. You weren't YouTubing it and streaming it, so nobody saw all your bad choices, all your mistakes, all the things you did by accident or on accident, whichever one it is. So I try to give more latitude to these YouTubers than I used to, and I try to allow young people to learn and grow and develop and not just cast them aside. And I know I'm in the minority on that, or we're in the minority on that. Because everyone just wants you to pay for every mistake you make, even if it's not illegal. You have to pay with your life, with your career,
and pay forever. That's another interesting part.
Forever.
It's like we couldn't just be like. Well, I think I would like to work on myself in this way. Also, I'm not just pointing my finger at waving my finger at everyone else. Also, me. It's like, yeah, they can admit that they were wrong on that, and now I need to kind of let it go. It's been 10 years, and I'm still holding on to like, remember when the guy did this? I need a little more grace for these people.
I try to remember that I'm not the same guy I was 1 year ago, let alone 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I barely remember what I have for breakfast. Like that's how quickly I change sometimes. So I try to give a lot of latitude, and I hope you guys do too. And if you don't, that's okay too. We're all human beings. Paul Heyman. We're still talking Monday Night Raw. Dude, we're 15 minutes into the show. We're still talking Monday Night Raw.
We're having a good time.
That's how good Monday Night Raw was, y'all. And Saturday Night main event and SmackDown. Everything was good this week. Paul Heyman, master of the microphone, came out and just cut a diabolical promo. My son uses that word, diabolical, so now it's in my vernacular. And he cut this promo on Jay Uso, basically saying, this belt doesn't belong to you. And he doubled down on what he said to him in the past, which is like, you can't handle this pressure. You can't. Like, you're too sweet. You're a sweet boy, and sweet boys can't handle this much weight. You got to be a bad motherfucker. You got to be heartless. You got to be cutthroat. And that's just not within you, because in your heart of hearts, Jay, you're a good man, and Seth Rollins ain't. Where you draw the line morally, he's just getting started. And the actions of Seth Rollins are making good on every promise that Paul Heyman says, which makes me love this relationship. I don't care who they bring in. Braun Breaker, what's the big guy's name that you love so much? Bronson Reed. They can bring him in. They can bring anybody in. The relationship is Paul and Seth. And for Seth to be able to make good on every threat that Paul Heyman says makes his threats no longer threats. It makes them promises. And when you can believe that what somebody says is going to happen, it makes them more credible. It makes them scarier in real life and in wrestling. And I just think they're doing such a good job of this. I guess the headline should be like, well, how's Jey Uso's title run going so far? But I don't look at it like that. I look at the stories, right? And how are the stories so far? And Jay's playing a character, and he's not denying any of the stuff that Paul Heyman's saying. You see him react to it like, oh, damn, that hurts, man. Don't say that shit to me. I wish I could punch you in the face. Like, he's doing all that without words. And so I really like the story. I don't care if he wins or loses the belt. I don't think the belts make the men. I think the men make the belts mean something. And I know you're not a big Jey Uso guy, but I love what he's doing, especially with Paul Heyman. And I think guys like Paul bring out the best in the men that they work with, and he's bringing out the best in Jay. So win or lose his next match, I don't even care. I just really enjoyed watching the story. And a lot of times I'm like, let's just get to a match, man. Come on. Like, you know what I mean? But this was like, nah, it was like, it was good television, man. It was just fun to watch. I love what Paul and Jay are doing. I don't care if he loses the title to Rollins. Eventually he has to, and he'll move on to other storylines and other things. But I think they're doing a great job with this. It set Jay up perfectly to get over. It set Seth up perfectly to get over. It sets Paul's shit perfectly to get over. I just think they're doing a wonderful job with this story. And I say when I don't think something's money, I say, hey man, this could use some help. Nah, dude, these guys are top shelf, and I really, really dig it, Jeff.
Are we going to talk about the fact that Bronson Reed joined the group?
Yeah, do it, dude. Go.
Because I love it.
He's your boy. Yeah.
I love what's happening. I'm not sure what's happening, which I also like that I'm not sure what's happening. I'm pretty happy it's unpredictable. I would have never guessed, like, if you'd have seen, if we had.
No, he hit him with 5 tsunamis. You would never guess that they were going to be bros.
I would never guess that he would join Seth Rollins. He
tried to kill him. He tried to kill him a couple months ago.
And I also wasn't under the impression that they were recruiting, like I didn't know they were adding people to the thing. I kind of like that all this is happening. I think it's very exciting. I like the choices they're making. I couldn't be a bigger fan of that stable. There's not a guy in that stable that I'm not crazy about. And Seth Rollins is at the helm, which is great. So I just think what they're doing is really, really exciting. It's really, really unpredictable, which is what wrestling needs more of. Wrestling needs more things that were like, whoa, I didn't think this would happen. Because wrestling fans, as much as I'm obsessed with them and I think they're great and I vouch for them and defend them all the time, they are know-it-alls. Like, oh, I saw this coming, or I knew they were going to do this.
Sure.
And so anything,
every genre has that. Yeah.
And anything that keeps them going, wouldn't have guessed Bronson Reed would join is 2 thumbs up for me. So I really like it. I think it's great, and it's probably my favorite story in wrestling right now for sure.
Yeah, I think everybody would agree with you on that. I didn't see that come in. The last time I saw them in a ring together, he tried to kill him. You know what I mean? And so I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with that. We're not going to talk about this too long, but Judgment Day defeated Penta and AJ Styles, as you knew they would, because Penta and AJ, they haven't worked together, even though they probably have at some point, but not in the WWE. El Grande Americano, Jeff.
Yeah.
He came out and he cost him the match. Here's a question. No, that's putting too much on it. We have a note here from our producer that wants to know if this is one of the best. It should say the best, I think, because one of the best, you could just go, yeah, and that's broad and vague. But is this the best post Vince McMahon era gimmick going in the WWE? I'll say this. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it can be. But I don't know anybody who could have gotten this over better, quicker than Chad Gable.
Whoa, it's Chad Gable.
Oh, sorry. Okay, here I know. My bad. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. Let me back up.
Whoever's doing it,
whoever's
doing a great job,
is fantastic, and it's a shame that people like me are irresponsibly accusing Chad Gable of donning this mask, and I apologize for that. You're right.
This guy went and got the same tattoo as Chad Gable so that people would be hoodwinked, and he's not even getting the credit. El Grande Americano is one of a kind. I love him. Also, I don't appreciate Michael Cole just assuming that he's putting something in his mask to hurt people with that headbutt. We don't know. We don't know if there's something in there. He doesn't use it every time. We don't know.
I mean,
we've seen it a couple times, sure, but we can't just assume it's always in there. It's very rude.
I think, and I mean this as a compliment, I think El Grande Americano is the funniest thing in wrestling.
I think so, too.
And I think there's room for comedy in wrestling. It doesn't have to be all serious all the time. And there hasn't been a single moment where he's been on camera that I didn't absolutely love every single thing he did.
It's hilarious.
Every single thing.
Like, good comedy is edgy, like not like dirty or terrible, but it has like a little bit of naughtiness to it. And this has a little bit of naughtiness to it because he's clearly not Hispanic, playing a lucha. To have a bunch of white guys in a mariachi band, you're like, what are you doing? Like, it's such a naughty thing they're playing with, but I think that they're doing it just right. And even the name El Grande Americano makes it sound like he's a medium-sized drink from Starbucks. Like, it's every play on each thing has been done well comedically. And I think it's a great story that's very light, and it brings some laughs in a very serious wrestling time. So I love it. I think it is the greatest gimmick since Vince has been gone, for sure.
All right, sir. Friday Night Smackdown.
Yeah.
We had the Queen, Charlotte goddamn Flair. We had Zelina Vega, and we had the newcomer from Japan and NXT, Julia, who spells her name really interestingly and cool.
Yeah. Julia Gulia?
Julia Gulia. Why is that funny? Oh, no, it's not. If you guys don't know, that's from The Wedding Singer. Go watch that movie. It's funny. Somebody kill me, please.
Your name's going to be
movie.
Julia Gulia?
So
did you think she would win, by the way, if you'd have bet on this?
No, I thought Charlotte Flair was going to win because I thought they'd put her in the title picture. And then once Julia won, I was like, yeah, Charlotte doesn't have to be in the title picture. She kind of is the title picture. So I thought it was actually really cool that she was in the match, putting someone else over instead of getting herself over. So I was surprised. I didn't think Vega would win because she already has a belt. So yeah, it was nice to see somebody fresh in there, and we'll get to see her do some crazy shit in Money in the Bank, which is always fun. It's one of my favorite matches. I know it's one of your favorite matches, if not your second favorite, I think. And it's in LA, Money in the Bank this year, isn't it? I think so. Maybe
if it is, we gotta go.
Maybe we should go. So Julia won. She's got a great look if you haven't seen her. She looks like she's Japanese and something else. I don't know. I don't know what she is, but her hair looks sick. The look is sick. She's pretty. She can move. She's quick as fuck. Like all these Japanese girls, man, they wrestle like dudes. You know what I mean? Like they're like, yeah, punch me in the face. You're just like, okay. And then you just see them get punched dead in the face. So that match was cool. Moving on, though, we get to Tiffany Stratton. And I guess the question for some people out there is the push too fast? And to that, I would say, have you never watched WWE?
Yeah.
like this is how it goes every single time. It's sink or swim. You get thrown in the deep end of the pool, and if you do well and you perform and you swim, they don't drown you. If you start drowning, they push your head under and kill you, and you never get the shot ever again. It's cold, it's brutal, but Tiffany Stratton's been getting better, so I don't think the push is too fast at all, and I don't know why people would even be questioning that unless they're kind of, I guess you could be a prisoner of the moment and not remember that this is the MO for every single professional wrestler that's ever gotten a push in the history of pushes. Like, it's always fast. There's always a rocket ship. It's why they say they're strapping a rocket ship to so-and-so, because it's going to be fast. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be intense, like a rocket ship. But she's doing well. I've been a little critical of her in the beginning, but I was more critical of the WWE process and how it would affect a young person than I was the young person themselves, because I don't think it's a conducive environment for success the way they do it, where they're like, hey, you better be able to fucking act. And it's like, well, wait a second. I haven't done it before. You're doing it tonight. Oh, yeah. Okay. Here's the microphone. Here's your lines. Learn them in 30 minutes. It's hard to do. And I think she's doing it, and she's doing all right. And I don't think it's too fast. And if you guys do, I'm trying to talk you off that hill, because that's how it is every single time. That's how it was with LA Knight. That's how it was with Triple H. That's how it was with John Cena. That's how it was with Alexa Bliss when she got the title the first time. That's how it is with Jeff Hardy when he got the title. I was there for that one. Like, that's the way it always is. And you can either talk or you can't. And if you can, and you can get heat or you can get love, then you get to keep going. And if you can't, then they move you down a little. And maybe you get another opportunity a couple years down the road.
Tiffany's tough for me as far as, like, I can't tell if she's the real deal or not. But I will say this to all of our listeners. Yeah. To anyone who listens or watches, if you want to know why celebrities are crazy, why actors are crazy, why comedians are crazy, it's because our industry is the only industry that doesn't have an actual ladder that you can measure. There isn't just like, oh, time served and now I'm next. Or, oh, I'm in 3 people before I become the next thing. It's some people take off immediately. Some people get pushed immediately. Some people have to earn it forever. Some people are really talented and just never get a shot. That's also kind of what I see happening in wrestling. You'll go, well, why is this person not getting a push? And why can't so-and-so be whatever? And why is so-and-so getting released? And how come Karrion Kross is, like, it just feels like we can't make sense of the wrestling ladder anymore. The same way, like, in our industry, we can't make sense of who's the next actor or who's the next comedian. So it makes you feel like you're a crazy person. But it's good for drama for us to all argue with each other about who we think should be pushed and who we think should be the next person. So that is very exciting. And Tiffany Stratton is a great debate. Is she too young? Is she ready? Is she whatever? I am this one's a tough one to predict for me because I don't really see, no offense, anything that star-spangled about Tiffany. I don't see her as any, I don't see any it factor, but I also don't see any like bad things either. I just think I don't know. I'm really in the dark about how talented or untalented Tiffany Stratton might be, but I'm rooting for her. I hope she does good. I hope she can stay in the limelight.
I think what you said was first of all really well said and dead on the money. And I just want to like build on that for a second, because what you're basically saying is art is subjective, and the people who make decisions aren't looking at it the way you would look at an office job promotion.
Right.
They can't deny someone's work if the work is, hey, here's the numbers for the office this week. Here's how much money's going out. Here's how much money's coming in. Hey, great fucking job. I can't believe you caught that. This isn't math. And when you apply math to art, it sucks. It's why people shit on movies and TV now, because there's so many analytics driving. There's all these corporations use analytics to drive who's in what movie, who directs what movie, who writes what movie gets made. And if the analytics don't match up and they don't think the math's there, it doesn't get made. And then when they do think the math's there, you see these movies on Netflix where you're like, what the fuck did I just watch? This was horrible. It had a 20-minute opening that was dope, and the rest of the movie, there was nothing. It's because it's an analytically driven film. Art is subjective. You and I look at the same exact wrestler doing the same exact moves. I'll love him. You won't, or vice versa. Like we both have guys that you dig that I'm like, yeah, I don't see it. And guys I dig where you're like, yeah, I don't see it. And we've talked about it on the show before, and it's so subjective. And that's something that I think a lot of like the internet out there, the vocal minority as they're called, I think they forget that sometimes. Like, you're looking at, let's say, Karrion Kross. You brought up the name. You're looking at Karrion Kross and you're saying, hold the fuck on. He's huge. He can talk. He can wrestle. What's the holdup? Well, the people looking at him aren't you. And they grew up differently than you. And they have different likes and dislikes than you. And they have different plans than you. Sometimes there's just not enough space on the roster for everyone to get a story. Like, there's all kinds of things. But art, like, I have paintings in my house that you might think are total bullshit. And be like, you know what I mean? And to me, I think it's one of the best paintings that I've ever seen, and I feel grateful to own it. You know what I mean? And then my wife has one that I'm like, it's in our house, and I'm like, it's on my wall. You know what I mean? And I don't care about it one bit, but she friggin' loves it. And that's kind of how you have to look at these performers, because they're artists. They're not really fighting. They're artists. It's not like the UFC where you can say, no, dude, my guy knocked your guy out.
He won. Yeah,
he's
exactly.
better. You can't do that. I mean, you can, but you come off like you don't know what you're talking about if you do that with art.
In sports, like it's inarguable. That team won, you know?
Yeah,
like,
that's why ties suck in sports. That's why everyone gets pissed off when there's a fucking tie, because then all of a sudden you can't have that finality. Whereas like in sports where there is no tie, you're like, yeah, my guy beat your guy. It's like a draw in boxing or in the UFC is the worst possible outcome. You don't want to draw. You don't want the judges to go, well, we can't figure out who won, when the crowd's like, we know it's our guy.
Tell us. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought you said that really well, and I just wanted to build on it.
Thanks.
All right. It's time to talk some Saturday night's main event. There was
real quick.
Go ahead, jump in there.
Wyatt Six coming back made me so happy.
I was gonna. Okay, let's talk about that, because I actually was gonna throw that in real quick. They don't have a choice here because they're kind of locked in with the size of the group. I don't know if the tag teams is the way to get the Wyatt Six over, because I don't know enough people that care about tag team wrestling. So I don't know how big the stakes are going to be. Whereas I think there's a better way to get them over on the mic and have them isolate targets. And it doesn't necessarily have to be for tag team titles. I don't think the Wyatt Six should ever hold titles or belts or anything. I think
they don't need it.
They should hold on to chaos. They should hold on to being different, to being, you know, it's a a stable of 6 unicorns. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
You never get that. Unicorns are by themselves. That's why we go, that guy's a unicorn. Here's 6 of them, and now they're gonna have Alexa Bliss as well, who can be a great mouthpiece for him. So I just feel like that might be the better way to get them over, is on the mic and then identifying targets through Alexa Bliss, and then Uncle Howdy or Bo can say some of his stuff as well as kind of the secondary voice, and let the stronger actor kind of direct that. But it was good to see them back finally. It's tough with the Wyatt Six because they do the build up so well.
I know.
And they do the opening act so well. And then you're left wanting more, and it feels like they don't have more for you. And at least so far, they don't have the long-term story. They had a long-term tease, but no long-term story attached to it. So it's been harder for me to get behind them than maybe some other people. But that's just my hope.
I wish it hadn't taken this long. I agree with you on that. And I don't know if that's injuries. I don't know if that's story problems. I don't know if that's waiting on Alexa Bliss or Bo Dallas's whatever. I don't know what it is, but I do feel like, what are we doing? Like, let's get to it. They just keep introducing the same group. And so I still love them, and I'm still excited. I'm still just as optimistic, but I am a little too late guy. I'm hoping that they get this thing moving, is what I hope.
Saturday night's main event, Jeff. We got some Saturday night wrestling, old school vibe, old school feeling. We'll go through this quickly, and just I want to focus on one match in particular, or one story in particular. And if it's not one you want, then I don't feel that strongly. We can just talk about yours. But Seth Rollins, we talked about Bronson Reed joining the team. Rollins and Braun Breaker beat up CM Punk and Sami Zayn. Predictable, yes. Good predictable, absolutely. Keeps them looking strong. And they kind of set up the loss in a backstage segment with Sami and Punk. If you watch them in the way I watch them, you can kind of tell who's going to win that match, when Sami and Punk were like, hey, sometimes you kind of go off on your own, and I don't know if you're going to be the best tag team partner. He's like, yeah, I don't know either. Well, you guys are going to fucking lose, if that's what we're saying in a backstage segment. So that match happened. It was cool. It's awesome to see Bronson Reed in there. That's Jeff's guy, dude, because he's humongous. Jeff likes the humongous guys. Zelina Vega retained her title against our girl Chelsea Green. Gave her a really bad bloody nose that looked awesome. Even though that wasn't supposed to happen, it still looked really cool. So thanks for bleeding like that, Chelsea. Appreciate you. John Cena somehow defeated R-Truth. I was shocked.
Son of a bitch.
I bet against this match. I bet all my life savings on this match on DraftKings. No. I lost everything.
That'd have paid out well, though, if you would have won.
the odds were great. I got $1 million to 1 odds.
Yeah.
I thought, there's no way I'm losing.
I had to take those odds.
It was too good. It was too sweet. So the kids' college money's gone, but whatever. They're not going to college anyway.
They'll be fine.
My son wants to be a race car driver. My daughter wants to be an actor. You don't need college for that.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right, here we go. Jay Uso, he beat up Logan Paul. And this was... I think the biggest win of Jay's career is the Gunther tap-out win. And this was just an awesome match, and with two guys that can really go. But I wouldn't say it was his biggest win. Again, I don't care if he wins or loses these matches. I only care about the story that he's in, and is it being executed at a high level. So to me, the concern wasn't that. But it was a really good match. John Cena tried to do some shit and mess with him, and Cody Rhodes finally returned, looking jacked, dude. His arms looked so big, bro. They were like LA Knight arms all of a sudden. Came out, beat up John Cena, and challenged him to a tag team match at Money in the Bank. John Cena and Logan Paul, an unlikely duo, Jeff. Can they get along? Versus, the answer is no, versus Jay Uso and the former champion, Cody friggin' Rhodes. Oh, you can't say that because it's Seth friggin' Rollins. I say friggin' so much, and Seth totally took that, and now I can't say it ever because it makes it sound dumb. It's
Cody freaking Rhodes.
It's gimmick infringement. I can't gimmick infringe, man. Anyway, Saturday night's main event was a lot of fun. I wish they did it a little more often, and I wish it was advertised beyond the shows. Like, I wish I got more commercials for it than Michael Cole saying on a Friday Night SmackDown, don't forget to, or on a Monday Night Raw, don't forget to tune in Saturday. Like, I wish there were more commercials for it because I almost forgot to watch the goddamn thing. Anyway.
You know who was the star of Saturday night?
Tell me, dude, tell me.
Jesse the Body Ventura.
As always.
Dude, he was perfect heel commentator. Like, he was just crushing it, making me laugh, talking trash, also pointing out little things. But he was like pointing out like little character flaws and story flaws. He's like, Damian Priest just gets to walk out of the ring. He gets to walk out of the cage. He's walking out of the Hell in a Cell. Like, he just kept pointing out that it was ridiculous. He just gets to walk out of the door. That's how they're doing a cage match. And I was like, he's not wrong. I wouldn't even have really thought about that. But like, Jesse the Body stole the show for me as far as like just crushing it.
He's always been that good, and he'll always be that good. And it's just a natural, it doesn't even come off heelish. It just comes off so cool. He's even awesome. Though it's super heel, it's super heelish, but he's just so like, it feels very natural to him. So you're just kind of like, yo, that's my guy. Like, I don't.
And he dressed ridiculous like he used to. Like, I thought it was
on
great.
Saturday Night's Main Event. They always should. Good. They always should. All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning in to the show. We appreciate you guys listening each and every week. Stay tuned for Unsanctioned Thursdays, because we're going to break down AEW Double or Nothing. This was a sick week in wrestling. If you missed it, catch up on your DVRs, watch it all, then listen to us and let us know if you agree or disagree. Give us some ratings, give us some reviews, all that stuff. Our bosses like that. On behalf of Jeff, I'm Freddie Prinze Jr., and this is Wrestling with Friends, Wrestling with Freddie. Peace.
Yeah.